afternoon, this is Optibotimus Commission with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Hot Toys MMS 209 Tony Stark the Mechanic. The second version of Tony Stark that we've gotten from the Iron Man 3 movie. As you can see, really nice image here in the front of what I believe is the actual product itself. A lot of times I can't tell if it's the product or if it's an actual image of the actor, but this definitely looks like it. The hair looks more plastic. As you can see, you got the Iron Man 3 Tony Stark bit right there. Come down here to the top, you got Iron Man 3. Bottom, Iron Man 3. The side just has a continuation of that image here in the front. Then you got that showing on that side. On the back, you have the warnings and things like that. And it is one of those kind of shoebox boxes where you just slide it just like so. And then you have a nice inner sleeve here with the cast and crew, showing all the people responsible for crafting this, as well as a nice little blurb right here that says, you could take away my suits, you could take away my home, but there's one thing you can never take away from me. I am Iron Man. I'm a terrible sounding actor, but this just comes off, and then you have the plastic clamshell with all the extra accessories, such as the various hands, the holographic augmented reality thing that wraps around his head. You got a couple weapons, the Mark 42 battle damaged arm, as well as the leg, and all that fun stuff. The little gadgets and things that he created to help storm the Mandarin compound. So a really nice figure to have, representing a very fun part in the actual movie. But there you have the packaging for the guy. So without further ado, let's get this opened up and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the mechanic version of Tony Stark opened up and out of its packaging. And before I get to the review, I want to remind you guys that you can win your very own version of this. All you have to do is go to the link down in the video description, put in your name, your email address, and you're automatically entered to win your very own Tony Stark. If you wait too long, you won't be able to enter. And the contest ends February 20th. And if you're watching this after that, well, then you're out of luck. But here we have the figure, and honestly, I was all set just to write this one off as just another Iron Man figure and just a simple reuse of the Tony Stark that we got before. But this really is pretty impressive and honestly well worth getting. Now, starting off with his accessories, which are pretty plentiful. First, taking a look at some of the stuff that, well, we've gotten previously. He does come with his little contraption that he uses to basically see things through the eyes of his Iron Man suits. Now, we did get this previously with the other Iron Man figure, but you see that the difference that we're getting is that this has the little, and I'm trying to keep it focused in here, it has a little target on there, whereas this one doesn't. So these are the same, basically, they are the same molded piece. But what's different about this, I guess, is that it comes with the full wraparound augmented reality sort of thing, as if his face is still inside the Iron Man suit and he's able to see everything through it. Now, it still works with the original one, so it doesn't really matter, but what you do is you come around here, and because it is very small and fragile, you do want to be careful with it. As you fit it in there, there's a lot of small bits. You kind of have to spread this blue bit a little bit out, fit that in there, locks in along the back, and like I said, it is pretty much, well, actually, it does have a different mold on here. I didn't even notice that. The back section here has these little tabs on the side that this one didn't have, so it is a different molded piece. Let me see here if this actually fits in here. I would imagine that it would still fit in here, just probably wouldn't lock in very well. And yeah, in fact, it does fit in there. It stays in there, but yeah, you can see that it does rotate around a little bit. It's not too bad, so if you wanted to reuse the original one, you could, but you can see that those actual little tabs there fit sort of along the back bit. But like I said, augmented reality. Cool piece, I do dig it. And then zooming in as much as I possibly can, you can see the detail along the side there, so that it gives a much more, and that's actually kind of cool looking, much more believable look to how he would control the Iron Man suit, like I said, from outside the actual suit. Now, he does come with the standard pegs. He does, or the extra, we got 3 extra pegs. Actually, we got 2 bigger ones and 1 smaller one, so I'm not 100% sure which are which, but you do got those little bits right there, so that helps you out. He comes with 2 extra regular hands, and then he's got some hands that are on the actual body itself. So you have this one, which is in a sort of a trigger mode. He does have another smaller hand that it doesn't really look like a trigger, just something that he would a hand that he would hold the things with, I would imagine. He does have the opposite hand for this in the left hand, so you do get another trigger, or trigger hand, I should say, and you do get an opposite one of his relaxed hand. But I have those 2 on the figure itself. And then he does come with a repulsor hand that has the angled wrist area, so that you can take the included angled wrist guard, put that like so, and then you can have him blasting. So you do have that option. You also do get an extra arm. As you can see, this one is a battle damaged one, and this also comes with an articulated hand. So you can position this however you want. You just can't get that really bent wrist look on there. And then you can see that it does light up. Bling! Just like so. So really nice hand on this as well. It is pretty much the exact same that we got with the original Tony Stark, that it's got the little magnet bit on here, and I'll attach that and I'll show that off here in a minute. And then he also does come with an extra leg. And again, battle damaged. These were the first 2 pieces that basically responded to him after the kid basically got him working again and had enough power in him to go and help break him out. So these are the pieces that he first had attached to him, and you can see that, you know, you just put it together, but you got the extra foot, the extra shin pad, and again, we'll show that off here in a little bit. But all this battle damage is from when he was trapped in his house after the Mandarin attacked him. He comes with an Uzi gun. Again, I'm not very good with guns, but I do believe that this is an Uzi. You can see that it, at least I think it slides here. Oh, maybe it doesn't slide there. But the magazine can remove. You got the individual bullets that are inside there, which is really nice. Put that right up in there, and that's one of his hand weapons. The other that he comes with is his homemade one, which is basically a nail gun. And this is really very nice. A wonderful amount of paint detail on here. The only problem that I have is that none of his hands hold it very well. Using this, like I said, I have the other one on his hand, and that's what I had it onto, or had him holding. When you get that in there, you can see that he really can't get his finger in there. The hands are very generic feeling and don't really feel like they're necessarily meant for this gun. You have to really contort it to get his fingers in there. It's definitely a piece that I think needs a better hand. And then, I mean, even using this one that has a more of a grip area, I don't really feel like this is the hand that's meant for it, because you can't get all the fingers in there. So it's weird. I guess this is probably the best hand for it, but I just don't personally like it. And then you can see that this bit actually detaches and it just pegs right up in there. So I do really like the nail gun. I just think that the hands could have been done better to facilitate holding it. And then we come to his backpack, which is where he keeps all of his extra weapons and things of that nature. He does have his other hand. I just kind of stuck it in here. When you get this, there are like foam pads in here, and I think I left the foam pad up here just to kind of fill this out. But I took the one out here so I can take this hand and put it in there just as a storage option. But looking at that, this is his little zapper hand, and that's actually the smaller peg. So that's what the little small extra peg is for this here. But wonderful detail on here. It really does look like a glove, and it's really fun. Zooming in so that you can see that a little bit better. Some really nice detail all the way around it. And it's an impressive piece. It really is. And you get a real nice appreciation for basically how the prop looked. I've said it a few times before. There's a lot of times that we don't really get good looks at the costumes and the things that the actors are wearing. But with these Hot Toy figures, you really get an appreciation for it. So this looks really nice. And then again, you get his extra weapons here. You get this little, he used this to pull one of the bad guys down. And my camera really doesn't want to focus on anything, but it's pointy. And he just threw it at the guy, and then he pulled his leg down. So setting that off to the side, he does come with a pair of pliers that just rotate around. They're not functional, so you can't spread them and get them to actually open up, but you do get that along with it. You get his other taser, which is more of a hand taser, and it really just looks like a walkie-talkie of sorts. It's really comical that he was able to use all this to really get a leg up on a lot of the bad guys. So really nice. It really reminds me of like something that you would see like the old 60s Batman using. So there's that. I'm not going to take this off because it's kind of a pain in the butt. Well, actually, it's not a pain in the butt. That just lowers down. But you got his little Christmas tree bulb weapon. I'm going to just put that on there. It's kind of a pain in the butt to, like I said, keep it on there. He does come with this little newspaper, which we saw, but I don't necessarily remember it actually saying this stuff, so I'm not 100% sure, but opening this up, I don't actually know what the World Pot News is, but it says Tony Stark is missing, and then I can't see if these are actual words, but yeah, I want to put it past them to say that these are actual words, and then you got a nice image of Tony right there. And then the other really cool thing is this little bomb thing. Really a very nice piece. You can sort of see how it looks like there's fluid in there. There isn't, and you can actually, if you give it a little twist, pull it out, and you can see the actual syringe that he used to fill it up. Now, the liquid here, it was kind of a clear liquid. I mean, he had the red liquid in here, but this was clear, so that's kind of weird, I guess, but I really dig that. And like I said, it's really neat that you're able to actually do that. That's a touch that I didn't expect. And I actually discovered it on accident, so really a very nice touch. And then as for the backpack itself, it is just one strap that goes over. It does have a working clasp that you just clip it in there, and then you can pinch it to remove it. Really nice detail on here. You got a lot of zippers, a lot of pockets. You can zip a lot of these bits down, but there's nothing really in it. And like I said, this I unzipped and opened up to be able to put his hand weapon in there, so really nice. And actually his last accessory, other than his jacket, I guess, would be his little aviator sunglasses. They kind of stick on there really well. So removing those, very nice yellowish, I don't know what color you would say that is. Maybe amber, I guess. But really nice glasses on there. And then that's what you're getting for a new head sculpt. It is basically the same. The only thing that's different is they added the battle damage on there with the blood coming from it, which looks really cool. And it really has a very shiny effect to it. I mean, getting in as close as I possibly can, I mean, that really does look terrific, and you can see the very glossy paint on there. And as far as I can tell, it is the same head sculpt as the original Tony that we got. So if that bugs you, I mean, I don't really see why it would bug you. I mean, he looked the same in the movie, so it's not like his face changed from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. Now, I guess technically you could say that he does come with another accessory, that being his display stand with the adjustable cradle. It says Iron Man 3, Tony Stark, the mechanic on there, but I mean, all of them kind of come with that. But he also does come with the his wristwatch, which I'm kind of on the fence, honestly, with this. It's not really red or pink. As you can see, it's a pretty red color, honestly, and it doesn't have a Dora the Explorer logo on it. The logo is actually a sticker. He does come with like 3 extra ones, so in case that sticker comes off, you have replacements. But I mean, I could understand maybe not being able to have the Dora reference on there, but at least get the color right. I mean, that's very red. I mean, the joke was him wearing a pink watch, and that doesn't look all that bad, honestly. So he does have that extra accessory as well. And I suppose, like I said, you could count his jacket as an accessory. I really actually do like this. It is designed to be able to come off and go back on, so you can remove this. And one thing that you're going to see, well, other than nipples, I mean, wow, very nipply, he is wearing the AIM shirt, which is accurate to how he looked in the movie. And then you can see his arc reactor. You come around to the back, and underneath here, it is the button. You just gotta
find it along his back and then turn it. There you go. You turn it on and you can see the arc reactor. It's a little bit harder to see from that angle, but it kind of angles up, so you do have that going as well. And it is the rectangular design. I mean, it's the same body that we got with the previous Tony Stark figure, so that doesn't change. It is a reuse of that same exact body, but you do get a lot of extra stuff with it. And like I said, the zipper is designed that you can zip this back up. A lot of zippers you really can't from Hot Toys. It's you bring it down, and well, I'm gonna have a hard time doing it now. You bring it down and then you're kind of stuck with the zipper. This one, you can zip it right back up, and I love that. I think that's a great touch. Allows you to really display it how you want and get a nice custom look going for them. Articulation wise, it is the same that we got previously with the Tony Stark figure. The head is on a ball joint here. It doesn't really feel like there's much of a neck joint underneath there. This whole body is all one piece, really to facilitate the whole light up chest gimmick. So you don't get much in terms of a waist crunch. I mean, he does have a lower ab crunch here, and then I'm trying to see if he has a waist rotation. I think it just rotates at the ab section. So actually, no, I don't even know how to describe it. There's a joint right there, and then there's a lower joint right there. So he does have that. Just the ab crunch isn't as high on this figure as it is other ones. The arms move in and out. They fully rotate because the sweatshirt here is a much more normal kind of fabric. It does flex a whole lot more. He does have wrist articulation. You got the pegs. You got the rotation in them. The hips move forward and back. It doesn't go all the way back. That's about as far back as it goes. Moves in and out. He bends at 2 points here at the knee. He has, he also has the upper thigh rotation. Then the ankles move forward back. They pivot forward side to side. And he's got really nice boots. I really dig his boots. Those are sharp looking. So all the articulation that you could possibly think of is in this figure. Now, as I mentioned, a lot of these accessories really give you a couple different display options. For his leg, the best thing to do, you're going to pop this foot off just like so, and really it is a tough thing to do. You want to rotate this around, kind of get this nice and tight to the body. If you wanted to, you could actually tape it, just wrap it around. Like I said, you can put some tape on there and it'll make it a little bit easier to get this to go all the way up just like so. And then you have the exposed little ball section right down there. You just bring the foot up and you just, well, pop that in there. Give it a nice little push. But as I said, by taping the pant legs around them, you can get this much better position on there. And this little bit right here folds forward. So here, wiggle that loose a little bit. Come on, all right, there we go, wiggle that. This bit right here does come back a little bit more, so you got some articulation there in the foot. So that's all still there as well. And then with the arm, what you want to do is, actually you got a little zipper section here. You want to unzip this a little bit more than what it is. I mean, you can zip it all the way down if you want, but lifting that, then you just bring this up like so, and you have his exposed elbow. You just twist this, that comes off, then you got this one, and then you just push this back in there, and then just kind of drape the arm or the sleeve over it a little bit, and you can see the magnet bit right there just pops it off. But locking that in there and bend it, it makes the articulation a little bit more difficult to do. But doing that, you have that, and then you can, like I said, swap out his hands. And if you have one of these dynamic figure stands, which if you don't have one and you would like to get them, I'll put a link down in the video description to Sideshow Collectibles where you can pick one up. You can use it to create an absolutely awesome looking dynamic pose with this guy. All in all though, I really did believe that this figure was just going to be very meh for me. But I'm absolutely glad that I changed my mind. He is so very fun and really represents a time in the movie where Tony was really starting to realize that he's not just the suit. I mean, all the stuff that he did with the glove, you know, the little zapper thing, the nail gun, all the stuff that he had with his backpack, all that stuff was him. And it wasn't his Iron Man suit. Yes, he is Iron Man, but he was really starting to see that he's much more than that. and I really like that. And I really think this figure is a wonderful addition to your Hot Toys collection. While the sculpt is the same, in terms of the body, the paint job for the face is just really outstanding. All the accessories that you get are top notch, and my only real gripe would be I wish he came with hands that seem to fit the weapons a little bit better. This guy's great, and if you are interested in picking him up, which I highly recommend you consider doing if you're an Iron Man fan or a 1/6 scale fan, go ahead and click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow Collectibles where you can add this guy to your collection today. And also, don't forget, down in the video description, you can also win your very own version of this. All you have to do is put in your name and your email address, and you're automatically entered. And that contest goes until the 20th of February 2014. So good luck, and if you win, let me know, because I'd really like to see what you think of this figure as well. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as all upcoming video reviews all at facebook.com/teambotimus, and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/optibotimus. Also, don't forget to check out my new website at optibotimusreviews.com. And if you like this review, don't forget to please rate, subscribe, and share this video. And until next time, I'll talk